Alright, so I've been watching someone on YouTube, a awesome person when it comes to survival horror, Alpha Omega Sin, and he spoke about some of the things that Capcom, well, I think it was him anyway, spoke about some of the things that Capcom wanted us to do for fan support in order to remake Resident Evil 2. Alright. One of the things that was said was to buy a copy of Resident Evil 6. Sorry, Capcom, I don't buy garbage. You want me to buy a Resident Evil game? Bring back the survival horror. What is the meaning of survival horror? These, right here. These are survival horror. By the way, sorry if I cough a lot. I have actually been sick for, 6 weeks now. But, no. The new Resident Evil games do not classify as survival horror. I see a lot of controversy that Resident Evil 4 would classify survival horror. No. Horror? Okay, I can buy that. Survival horror? Not at all. See, survival horror, you have to pick and choose your enemies. You are set to a limited amount of health, ammo. Your guns are not upgradable. Resident Evil 4, I've upgraded my gun so much that I can literally walk through the entire game with a pistol. What's that? That's not survival horror. Not to mention, the over-the-shoulder thing. Now you can, aim, put the little target thing, red dot right here, shoot, do a lot of damage. I remember in the old Resident Evils, I used to have to sit there with the shotgun aimed up, and when they were on me so close they were going to bite me, then I'd have to shoot, and I might get a headshot. And their head might come off. Which was always badass when that did happen. Alright. First thing, the surplus of health and ammo in these newer games. Why? It just makes the game so easy. Okay. I'm going to take this back a few steps here. Resident Evil 1. I played that for the first time when I was somewhere like 8 to 10 years old. I remember the whole, the way the game was, environment-wise. I made it past the first couple cutscenes of the game to get to the main hall, where you could actually then control your character. Just the environment of the game alone, with the music and the way everything was, scared me enough that when I walked up to the dining room door and I hit the X button, it went to the cutscene that we all came to know and love, where they would show the doors opening, you step through them and close them. I didn't even get halfway through that and my finger hit the power button. I was scared. I watched a 5-year-old play and beat Resident Evil 5 and didn't even flinch. This right here, Capcom, this was, your best investment was this remake right here. It brought the game back to me. But in another way, because you added so much more. Alright. The camera angles. Hold on. I'm seeming to lag a little bit. There we go. Now, the camera angles. Okay, I see a lot of people do, the over-the-shoulder view. I personally preferred the fixed camera angles, because a lot of the times, you go to run around a corner, you can't see around that corner. Like, I remember playing Resident Evil 4. I could stand just in the right way around the corner so that I could see around the corner, but the enemy didn't see me to come after me. You can't do that in the older Resident Evil games because you can't see around that corner until you go around that corner, and a lot of times you ran around that corner and boom, there's a zombie right in your face. Okay, I have to admit the zombies were slow, but I'll tell you what, they scared the shit out of you when you didn't have a whole lot of ammo to work with. Like, you had to pick and choose your enemies, which is why we get back onto the health and ammo surplus. Okay, when you're limited to ammo, you have to choose which enemies to kill and which ones to run past. If there's enemies that you can run past, then you have to do it. That's why it's called survival horror. You have to make do with what you have. There is a set amount of health and ammo through the game, and that is it. Otherwise, okay, perfect example. Code Veronica. True definition of survival horror. I have played this game to where I got to the end of the game and I had, health and ammo to spare. Then I've also played the game, as a matter of fact, the first time I played the game, I went through, like I would say, okay, the first 3 Resident Evils, there was enough in the game that you could kill everything and still have ammo at the end to spare for the boss. Now, the thing is you had to choose, like, okay, it's a zombie, it's slow, you can get away from it, but if you have to kill it, it takes 5 or 6 shots with a pistol, okay, kill it. Hunter, yeah, well, good luck killing a hunter with a pistol. By the time you do, it'll probably have slit your damn throat. I know this because I've had it happen in the game a few times. Now, in the remake, Lisa Trevor, another one, good luck killing her with a pistol. Not to mention, even if you do take her down, you have about 30 seconds before she stands back up. So, you're going to waste even more ammo. Another thing that you just have to run past. Alright. This one, Code Veronica. I have played the game where I tried killing everything that walked, and I got to the end of the game. Of course, every Resident Evil game, you have a Magnum at some point, and it almost becomes common sense over the years, over, the first 3 Resident Evils. Okay, so I can just save all of the Magnum rounds for the boss, and I'll be fine. I was wrongly mistaken with this one. I got to the final boss, Alexia Ashford. I had the Magnum rounds. I used all of the rounds up. She was still alive. Oops. Guess what? I had to start the game all the way over from the beginning. And you know what? That's what I got for not being smart. But now I see 5-year-olds blasting through these Resident Evil games, and there's no survival in it. None whatsoever. Every enemy you kill, odds are it's going to drop health or ammo. Alright. Back on enemies. The biggest thing they did with 5, if I wanted to shoot at enemies that shot back at me, I would play Call of Duty. Alright? And I hate Call of Duty. The scare tactics in the game. Alright, so we'll go back to the Resident Evil Remake. Bear in mind, I have all the Resident Evil games, just these are the 3 that I picked off the shelf for probably the best examples. Now, everyone remembers the L-shaped hallway in the mansion after the statue room, where the first time you run through, you hear the window crack. Then it scares you. It's like something's going to come through this window. Alright, well, here's a little experience of mine. The first time I played through, I went through that hallway, heard the window crack. I knew eventually something was going to come through it. Now, I went through the hallway, and then I went out that one side door to go out and get the herbicide. And I killed the dogs while I was out there. So eventually I ended up having to run through that hallway again, and then nothing happened. So I'm like... Now, I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time about me killing the dogs outside while I was outside. But then the next time I play the game, bear in mind, I can play this game over and over and not get bored of it. Now, the next time I play, I go through the hallway, window cracks, whatever. I get I think it was one of the little keys from the bathtub in the bathroom next to that door that goes outside, and then I went to run back through the L-shaped hallway, and the dogs came through the window. You know what? Scared me. Alright. Another thing, the scare tactics as well. The people bursting through walls and stuff, it's no longer scary anymore because the game turned into such a shooting gallery. It's like something bursts through the wall. It's like, oh, another enemy I have to kill. Versus like Resident Evil 2. Mr. X, if anyone remembers him, the big hulking dude that is dropped from the helicopter in the crow hallway during the second scenario that randomly pops up at random times throughout the game. Then there's that one puzzle where you're in the meeting room, I think, and you have to light some, torch thing, and then you have to do a puzzle with 3 torches. And when you complete the puzzle, out of nowhere, he just bursts through the wall. That scared me. Nemesis. Another one. You had the option to fight him or kill him. Personally, to try to kill him is just a waste of ammo because he's not actually dead. He's just going to come back anyway. But anyway, I remember running past him into the police station, go up to the STARS room, pick up what you need to pick up, then all of a sudden you get the whole radio call thing over the giant, whatever you call it. And then you go back down the stairs to go out the building. The second you get to the bottom of the stairs and run a few feet, Nemesis comes crashing through the window and starts chasing you with his rocket launcher. That was scary. The stuff in today's games, not so much. Alright, weapons. Do I even really need to get on this subject? Because... okay, I'll keep this one short because pretty sure I have a 15-minute limit on YouTube, and I'm about 14 minutes in, which means I might have to make a second video to cover all my topics. Alright. The weapons. The original Resident Evil games, you had to... actually, you know what? I am going to close this video now, and I am going to make a second one.